In this video, we got another episode of the Start Bench Cut series. If you guys don't know what this series is, basically you guys will let me know 3 different players on Twitter at xevantanaka. I'll put out a tweet saying, let me know 3 players for a Start Bench Cut vid, and then you guys will let me know 3 different players. For example, Abby's gonna say Giannis, LeBron, and KG, and then I have to rank them basically best to worst, you know, who I would start, who I'd bench, and then who I would cut. So if you guys want to let me know on the YouTube video, on the YouTube comment section, let me know 3 different players, and I'll tell you guys who I would start, who I'd bench, and then who I would cut. But let's get right here into the video. First one here is going to be from Abby. He says Giannis, LeBron, and KG. So obviously he's talking about power forward because KG can't play that small forward position. Like, if you guys want to let me know 3 different players at a certain position, that would make it a lot easier to give you guys a start, bench, and the cut. But for this one, talking about the power forward position, I think you got to start Kevin Garnett. I think he's the better out of the 3 at the power forward position, and I think Giannis is probably still the better power forward compared to LeBron. I think LeBron is a way better card than Giannis, or at least a little bit better than Giannis as an overall card. But if we're talking about the power forward position, then I would start KG, bench Giannis, and cut LeBron. Next one is going to be Jonathan Isaac, Rudy Gay, and Mike Bantam. So I do think Mike Bantam is the best small forward in the game. So for me, he's easily going to be starting. And then between Jonathan Isaac and Rudy Gay, they're both really good small forwards. I just think Jonathan Isaac is going to take the edge because of the fact that he's 6'11" and one of the best defenders in the game compared to a guy like Rudy Gay, who's very elite. I like Rudy Gay a lot. He's good at going to the rim, has a really good player model. I just think Jonathan Isaac does pretty much everything better than a guy like Rudy, except for his jump shot and his ability to slash at the basket. So for me, I would say start Mike Bantam, bench Jonathan Isaac, and then cut Rudy Gay. Next one is going to be Yao, D-Rob, and KP. Those are the top 3 centers in the game in my opinion. I would start Yao Ming. I still think you got to say he's the best center in the game. And then between Kristaps and D-Rob, I do think it's actually a very close debate at the center position. I think D-Rob is better than Kristaps at the 4, but I do think it's a pretty close debate at that center position. Kristaps is going to have a little bit of height and a little bit of wingspan, being 7'3" with a 7'6" wingspan. D-Rob is going to be the much better defender, having a +3 block, +4 steal, +5 perimeter, and a +4 interior defense. It's not going to be like crazy of a difference. Like, Kristaps is still a very good defender, but it definitely is a difference on the defensive end. But Kristaps is going to be a much better offensive card, having that jump shot on very quick timing, and just all around badges wise, he's got a lot more Hall of Fame shooting badges. But it's a really close debate because D-Rob is going to have a ton of Hall of Fame defensive badges compared to, you know, Kristaps having a lot more of Hall of Fame shooting. So it's a very close debate. I think Kristaps just barely edges it out at the center position. So I would say it goes Yao. So start Yao Ming, bench KP, and then cut D-Rob. But honestly, I think between KP and D-Rob, it can go pretty much either way. Next one here, though, is going to be Tim Thomas, Mike Bantam, and MPJ. Another very close one. I would say, you know, I think Mike Bantam is easily going to be starting. And then for the guy who's going to get benched, I mean, Tim Thomas and MPJ, I think, is a very close debate because, you know, Tim Thomas is going to have way better SIGs, or at least I would say, actually, does he even have way better SIGs? I'm not exactly sure. Tim Thomas might actually, or MPJ might actually even have the better SIGs. I mean, the Kemba Walker escape compared to the John Wall is very similar. I almost like the Kemba escape a little bit more. So their SIGs are basically the same. Jump shot wise, I still think Tim Thomas has the better jump shot, even though MPJ's release is on very quick. I think it's a little bit slow for a very quick jump shot. I would take Tim Thomas's release a lot more over MPJ, especially off the dribble. I mean, maybe in the catch and shoot, MPJ is a little bit better, but I would say definitely Tim Thomas's jump shot is better. About the same SIGs wise. I would say stats wise, I mean, they're very similar. Like, these are very close cards. I mean, MPJ does have a lot more badges. I mean, he has 8 more Hall of Fame badges, which is a pretty big difference. I think that's such a close one, honestly. I mean, they're basically the same height. Tim Thomas has got a little bit more wingspan. I would say Tim also has the better player model as well in game. The better defender probably goes to Tim as well, just because of his stats are a tiny bit better, like +7 block, +3 perimeter, or +3 steal, I should say. And then badges wise, I want to see what it looks like on the defensive end. I mean, yeah, it's a very close debate. I mean, it's really close between these 2 cards at the small forward position. I would say Tim Thomas just barely edges out MPJ. So for this one, I would say start Mike Bantam, bench Tim Thomas, and then cut Michael Porter Jr. Next one is going to be Dino, Chet, and KG at the power forward position. So Chet's 1000% going to be getting cut. I think Dino and KG are a lot better at that power forward spot, especially. And then if we're talking about Dino and Kevin Garnett, I think this is a very close debate. I love Dino at the power forward spot. I think KG probably looks better on paper, but you got to remember, However, Dino's got a 7'11" wingspan and a really good player model in game. But yeah, on paper, KG is definitely gonna have the better stats. He's a Galaxy Opal, amazing defensive stats. Badges wise, I mean, the badge count is similar, I believe. Yeah, like 5 more badges for KG, but like, what are the badges? He's got like post spin technician. He's got, I mean, box out beast, a rebound chaser, or box out beast and brick wall is nice. Clamps is good, interceptor. So I think you probably still got to give it to KG because his SIGs are also very good. I would say jump shot wise, you probably also got to give to KG as well. I think it's a closer debate than people probably give Dino credit for, but I would say you got to start KG, bench Dino, and then cut Ched. Next one is going to be Olowokandi, D-Rob, and Porzingis. If he's talking about the dark matter D-Rob and the dark matter Porzingis, then I would say it's easily start Porzingis, bench D-Rob, and cut Olowokandi. If he's talking about the pink diamond D-Rob, then I would say it's probably once again the same thing. It's probably start Kristaps, bench the pink diamond D-Rob, and then cut Olowokandi. I think Olowokandi is a very good center, but and just not on the same level, especially of a dark matter D-Rob and a dark matter Kristaps. Next one is going to be Nikola Jokic, Dino, and Malone. I like this one a little bit more. It's very interesting. I think Dino, you probably got to say, is better than Jokic, though. I think we got to cut Malone. I just think Jokic and Dino are that much better. But I mean, Dino and Jokic is a close debate, but I think Dino probably does, I would say, everything better than Jokic, but not really. If I'm looking at their stats, they're very similar. Like, Jokic has got a way higher 3-ball. Jump shot wise, I do like Dino's release a lot more, and his movement's going to be a ton better. So if you're looking for a guy that's a little bit more mobile, a guy that can move with the ball in his hands, I think you go for Dino. If you're looking for more of maybe like just a spot up shooter, a guy that's gonna be able to shoot the ball at a very high level and from limitless range, then you maybe go for Jokic. I think, me personally, I would take Dino a little bit over Nikola Jokic because of his player model, and that 8-foot wingspan really does make a huge difference. So for this one, I would say start Dino, bench Jokic, and then cut Malone. Next one is going to be Greg Ostertag, pink diamond Kevon Looney, and gold Manute Bol. So that is an absolute troll one, but I'll just say we'll say Greg Ostertag starting for shout out cheap ludes. We'll say a bench Kevon Looney, the greatest center in the NBA, and then cut gold Manute Bol. That's just a troll one. Next one is gonna be at the power forward spot, Jonathan Isaac, Dino, and Stoudemire. Once again, I think there's a lot of guys that are just like obvious choices. Like, I think Stoudemire isn't even on the same level as Jonathan Isaac or Dino, especially at the power forward position. So for this one, I would say easily cut Stoudemire. And then I think for power forward, Dino and Jonathan Isaac actually could be a very close debate. I know a lot of people are saying, you know, a lot of people are putting Dino in these conversations because they want to see kind of where he ranks, but Jonathan Isaac at the power forward spot, I think he's still very good at power forward. I like him a lot more at small forward, but I think stats wise he'll probably look better and badges wise look better than Dino. But you got to remember, Dino's got that 8-foot wingspan that makes a massive difference, and also does have a way better player model. Like, you got to remember, Jonathan Isaac has a really skinny player model in game. So I think at the power forward spot, I would start Dino, bench Jonathan Isaac, and then cut Amari Stoudemire. Next one is going to be Trey Murphy, pink diamond Paul George, and Levine. I guess he's talking about small forward because I don't think Trey Murphy can play shooting guard, right? Can Trey Murphy play shooting guard? I thought he was a small forward, power forward. Yeah, so I guess we're talking about small forward. I would say probably start Trey Murphy. I think he's a solid budget power forward. Like, he's very decent, has a good jump shot. He can drive to the rim, going to be a really good slasher. Then I would say probably bench Paul George and cut Levine. I just think Levine's too small to play that small forward position. I think you should only really run Levine at the shooting guard position. So for this one, I would start Trey Murphy, bench Paul George, and then cut Levine. Next one is going to be Penny, Shea, and Denny. They kind of all rhyme, I'm not going to lie, but this one is a very close debate, I would say, between all three of these cards. I mean, I would say Penny Hardaway. I would say Denny is probably the best one out of the three. I would say Denny's definitely going to be starting. I think he's such an elite 6'9" point guard, I should say. Really good defender. I think he's basically just like a budget Ben Simmons and a budget Magic Johnson. So for this one, I would say easily start Denny. And then I would say bench Shea and then cut Penny Hardaway. Really not the biggest fan of Penny. But yeah, last one here of the video, guys, is going to be from a silly pimp. He says Opal Russell Westbrook, Opal Don Ole, and Opal Steph Curry. So this one I think is actually a lot closer than people will say. I think Russ is easily going to be starting. I just love this Russ card. He's so good at going to the rim. Easily one of the best rim runners in the game. I think he's got a solid jump shot as well. He plays good defense in game. Yes, he's 6'3", so he is going to get mashed a lot, and he's going to get two-manned a lot in that pick and roll, but still is a very good offensive card and basically unstoppable going to the rim. So for this one, I would say easily start Russell Westbrook. And then for Don Ole and Steph Curry, is it crazy to say Curry? I think that might be crazy to say, but I think Don Ole might honestly be, or I think Curry might be honestly better than Don Ole because they're about the same wingspan and height wise. I mean, stats wise, Curry's like actually a better defender on paper. I mean, Curry's gonna be the way better 3 hunter. Like, Curry's better stats and badges wise because he's got a higher badge count by 3. He's gonna have more Hall of Fame shooting badges, which is nice. I would say probably bench Steph Curry. Like, I mean, rim running, Curry's a pretty good rim runner as well, having the quick drops off one. So for this one, I would say start Russell Westbrook, bench Steph Curry, and then cut Don Ol. And then I'll just do this one quickly, just to say the three things. I'm not going to really give you explanation, but I would start Mike Bantam, and then, oh, we already had this one. I would start Mike Bantam, bench Tim Thomas, and then cut MPJ. But guys, let me know in the comment section down below 3 different players, and I'll tell you guys who I would start, who I'd bench, and then who I would cut. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.